Hi everyone, Dennis here, and in this video I am going to unbox and share my first impressions of the Feiyu Tech G4 3-axis gimbal for my GoPro. I picked this up off of Amazon.com for $354 including shipping, and I tell you what, I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am about taking a look at this item. I ordered it on January 1st and it didn't come in until January 20th. This has been back ordered at a lot of different retailers, so I'm super excited to have this in my hand. So we're going to take a look at the packaging here. So it came in this kind of plastic wrap, and actually when I bought this off of Amazon, it had this newer name before the Feiyu Tech name, and I think this newer company is a reseller of the Feiyu Tech gimbal. And it looks like they just kind of threw it in some plastic wrap there before coming to us. So I'm going to go ahead and tear apart this plastic wrap and take a look at the box here. So the box itself is very, very nice. It's a very, very clean box. I mean, for a $350 product, this is great. So it's a nice black clean box, very sleek in terms of feel. You can see it's a G4 3-axis handheld steady gimbal. Feiyu Tech is a company. Just some more kind of branding there. On the back here, it tells us the contents. So you should have a charger in there, 4 batteries, instructions, warranty card, and USB cable. Some product specifications there. This is actually really, really small. So it's 239 millimeters by 75 millimeters by 65 millimeters. So it looks like it's a very kind of mobile product for me to use. And here's just some images, and it's compatible with the GoPro 3, 3 Plus, GoPro 4, and the camera is that same size, allowing for GoPro 3's LCD backpack. I'll tell you the reason why I picked up this gimbal is because I honestly believe that this is kind of a necessary item for any GoPro camera if you're doing kind of filming, especially when you're walking around and whatnot, because this helps stabilize the shake when you're walking, so it keeps things more steady in your film. And I hate shaky videos, so for me this was an absolute must-have. It is really expensive at $354, essentially the price of my GoPro Hero Silver, but frankly I think this is worth the buy. And also the reason why I went with the G4 is that this allows you to add a backpack to it, at least from the reviews that I saw. This is one of the few gimbals on the market for the GoPro that I saw would support having a backpack. So with that said, let's go ahead and peel this guy off here. It's pretty tight here in terms of the box. Let's see if I can slide her out. I don't want to rip the box, but it's getting close. There we go. Okay. So again, it's in a very nice box there. Looks like this just pops out here. Alright, so what's inside the box? Here it looks like just a warranty card, which I'll probably fill out here. You get a warranty on the product. Looks like that was a manual in Chinese. Here we go, read me first. This is what I definitely need to take a look at before I even take this out. Let's see what it has here. So it just gives us some instructions before. I've seen that this is really important, so remove the batteries before upgrading. So when you plug the gimbal into your computer to upgrade the firmware, make sure that you remove the battery, otherwise you could short circuit the board. Cool. Here's some additional manuals on how to get started and how to use. Great. Alright, let's take a look at what's inside. So before we get to the actual gimbal, the accessories that it comes with. So here's a micro USB to USB cord that can be used to charge the gimbal. We have a adapter here to plug it into your wall. This looks like some additional rods. I wonder if these are extension rods to use with the backpack. Here's a European power adapter here, which is, I think it's nice. Nice little addition to have, so this is really convenient for us. And it looks like another adapter here. Plug it in, and I think I've seen people mention this, but what's really nice is that this unit comes with 2 sets of batteries. If I can get it out here. God, this thing is really well in there. Goodness gracious. Well, you see it. I'll deal with that later. I see the gimbal itself. I'm gonna set this to the side. Go ahead and grab the. This is a charger for your batteries. And let's see if I can get this guy out. I'm going to take this sucker out of the box. Take this box out. And will this guy come out? And they really packaged this guy in there. Goodness gracious. It's like sliding it out right now. Here we go. Here's one battery pack, one battery set, I should say. Here's a second battery set. This is a really firm kind of mold that they have. I'm probably going to keep this and use it to transport my gimbal. It's kind of big, but I haven't seen a travel pack with this. But in terms of taking a look at this, this is super solid. The steel feels very strong, feels very firm in my hand. So I'm really impressed. Really impressed with the build quality on this thing. You can see here the 3-axis movement here. It goes side to side, it goes up and down, and left to right. So really nice looking gimbal, really mobile. The power button's down there. That's how you turn it on. This is I believe a USB slot, micro USB slot. This is where you would plug it in to upgrade the firmware. And remember, when you upgrade the firmware, you gotta take the battery out. This button here allows you to adjust the different settings for the gimbal. They have different settings that will allow you to control the type of stabilization that you can do. Looks like they have a little piece of plastic block here. I'm going to take this out. So your actual GoPro goes in here and points forward. And what's nice about the G4 versus the G3 and other models is that it has this kind of gap that allows you to see the full LCD screen, which I didn't have. The G3 actually blocks. This looks nice, and what's also nice too is that in this version from Feiyu Tech, they actually hide a cable. So in the other versions, there's this kind of cable that was sticking out, which was at risk of being snagged or ripped off. So it's really nice. But what I see so far is a very firm, very sturdy looking gimbal. Really impressed with the build quality. So I'm super happy with what I'm seeing here. Give me 1 second, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my GoPro, plug her in, plug the battery in, and actually I also bought the extension cord, so we'll go ahead and see what that looks like as well. So give me 1 second, and I'll be right back. Okay everyone, so what I have in front of you here is of course the Feiyu Tech G4 gimbal. I also have 2 batteries that go with this gimbal that will allow it to power on. I have my GoPro Hero 4 Silver Edition, which has the LCD back screen. I also have these 2 extension pins that essentially attach the GoPro to the gimbal. These pins are a little bit longer than what comes with the gimbal, and these pins will allow you to attach a backpack to your GoPro. I'm not going to set it up in this video, but I wanted to show you that it is available. And on this side, I have this extension rod set that I bought off eBay for roughly $45. Each individual rod measures about 14.5 to 15 inches, and it has this little switch thing that attaches the gimbal to the rods. And essentially this will allow me to extend the distance of the shot I'm able to take with the gimbal. But with that said, let's go ahead and set up my GoPro onto the gimbal and get it all powered up. So what I'll do is I'll first take my GoPro out of its protective case, and in my opinion this is one drawback to this gimbal and really any gimbal I've seen on the market, where it doesn't have, I'm not able to use the protective case with the gimbal. So I kind of would have liked to be more assured of my GoPro's waterproofness, as well as the gimbal's waterproofness and really durability. But not a big deal, but it would be a nice to have. So with that said, I'll go ahead and grab this gimbal here, and what I'll do is I'll unscrew these pins, and you'll notice that the pins, I have the head of the pin where I can touch it facing me, and this ball head here onto my left side, so the GoPro will actually slide right into in that spot right there. So we'll unscrew this real quick. and I'll slide my GoPro right in here. It is a snug fit, so it snaps in just very slightly, ever so slightly, and then I'll come back and screw this back in. Looks like I need to loosen it up just a little bit more so it'll fit my my GoPro. Let's do that here. Here we go. All right, let's go ahead and set the GoPro back into the casing, to the housing, right there. I'll flip this around and get it screwed in. Try to line them up there. So I'm lining up the holes right now, or the pins with the holes. Okay, so the top part there, I screwed it in slightly, and this bottom part needs a little more to screw in there. Okay, so I'm screwing in right now, and a couple things to note here too is that this is all metal, so there is a tendency to kind of scratch, or I do have the possibility of scratching the GoPro, so one thing to note there. And also, there is no kind of bracing on this end, so I want to make sure I screw this relatively snug, just because I don't want my GoPro to slide out and fall out. All right, so that feels pretty snug. Let's see here. Make sure this is in more. Okay. The bottom is snug. Top feels snug, and it's pretty secure, and it's surprisingly secure. But again, I want to make sure it's nice and snug so it doesn't slide out. So that looks good there. GoPro is on to the gimbal. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, this particular model, G4 model, doesn't have a brace that goes right down the middle here, so it allows me to use and really see the LCD screen, which is nice. Okay, so next what I'll do is I'll install the batteries. So all I do is unscrew it right there. Put this down. Okay, so the batteries go in with the top part there. Here's the other battery, so the second battery. And then all I need to do is just screw it right onto the gimbal here. There it is, easy as that. Let's go ahead and power this guy on for the first time. That power's on, you can see it initializes right there, and my GoPro is being balanced. Pretty cool stuff. I'm going to turn it off real quick and show you how to set up the extension rod. So I'm going to set this to the side. So you can tell it turned off because this thing just is kind of limp right now. So I'm going to set that down. Okay, so with the extension rod, I'm going to go ahead and attach them to one another. Well, first, I guess let me talk about the feel of this. This is super lightweight. It's made of carbon fiber. It feels pretty sturdy, but it's very lightweight. So it doesn't, I guess it's not going to inhibit my ability to carry this for a long period of time. So I'm just going to screw these together, which will essentially allow me to combine it to roughly 30 inches in length. There we go. And I'm going to set this down. So the rod is pretty long now. I'm going to set this down. And what I'm going to do is, because the on and off button is on the bottom here, before I can attach this rod to my gimbal, I need to make sure I turn it on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that by pressing the on button. And I'll wait for it to initialize. Look at that. Okay. So I have the rod here, and although it did come with this switch, I noticed that I'm able to kind of screw in the rods right into my gimbal. So I'm gonna not use the switch and set it to the side, and it looks like what I can do is I can just screw it right in there. Oh, that's clear or not. It's pretty snug, and that's it. So suddenly I have an extension rod that takes this another 30 or so inches. They'll give me more kind of the aerial type shot. But in terms of my overall first impressions of this device, a couple concerns I'll mention, and I did mention earlier in the video. Concern number one is that I'm not able to use a protective case for my GoPro. So it's not waterproof, it is exposed to the elements. So for example, if I were taking it skiing or anywhere near water, I want to make sure I'm very careful with that. The second concern is that the bracket here is made out of metal, so there is a possibility of scratching the GoPro. You want to be aware of that and make sure that you're careful with it. Another concern I would say is the fact that it doesn't look like the mount in itself covers 100% of the GoPro, so there's this whole area that's exposed, and this makes me afraid that if I don't tighten this strong enough or tight enough, that this will actually, my GoPro can actually fall out and potentially break. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm a little concerned about that, so I want to be careful when I see that. And probably the last thing I'll mention is that there's not a wrist strap with this gimbal. It'd be kind of nice, because given its size and how small it is, to have a wrist strap that I can wrap around my hand just in case it, for whatever reason, it could fall out. It would be nice to have that, but not a big deal. Beyond those concerns, which I actually think are minor concerns, overall this is a very, very well-made gimbal. It feels very sturdy, feels very secure. I'm super impressed with the build quality. I'm super excited to go test it out, and I'll shoot some videos of that for you. And like I said earlier, I think that if you're shooting any type of video where you're moving, I think having a gimbal is a must-have. So for me, the $350, actually $400 in total with the extension rod, it's definitely worth it. But that's all I have for you today in this video. Be sure to check out my other videos. Be sure to like, share, and comment on this video. And thank you for your time, and talk to you later.